Hey everyone, a nerd named Mark here, and I'm doing another anime review. Episode 2 of season 2 of Rent a Girlfriend has dropped on Crunchyroll this weekend. It's still showing up as season 1. Before I go into a breakdown and review of the episode, I have to say this episode should have been the season 2 premiere. Okay? And we should have ended season 1 with episode 13 because this makes more sense as a season starter. Um, but that's just and now I'll go into everything and explain my reasoning behind that because it was just I don't know. It was this episode really would have worked better as a season premiere, even though it wasn't as jam packed. But from a story standpoint, yes. So episode there's spoilers obviously. So the episode starts off, Kazuya is narrating because spring has just started, spring break is over, now their second semester starting. So right off the bat, that's a good time frame to start a freaking season. Um, we get this whole thing about, Kazuya still going over, you know, everything with Chizuru and how he's gonna keep renting her and all this other stuff. And it's like, all right, like right at the bat, I'm like, we're 2 episodes in. But even from that, like Ruka really up until like she was in this as like a flashback, like from him having a conversation with her. No mommy, except she was referenced. And it's just like no Sumi, anything like that. But obviously they go on a date. Obviously, it's Rent a Girlfriend, and Chizuru even brings up like this isn't fair to other clients. He doesn't have to keep renting her every week. The look bad. They're just pretending. Even she brings up like how mommy said she needs to stop seeing Kazuya, and then she even brings up Ruka and how it's gonna affect her, and you don't want to upset her. And he's like, yeah, you're right. But this whole entire time, it's just like, But before there was like a little scene where he was talking to his boss at the karaoke bar, so to speak, and he was talking about how his lady, they traveled all over the place, went to places even not even didn't even care about, and then that's when Kazuya self narrating that he loves Chizuru, like he loves her, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is we're going like I'm trying to separate the manga, that everything I've read, and just taking the anime as is for what the anime is presenting from a story standpoint. If they're they cut some stuff out. I've only read, I have 9 of the physical volumes, but I've also read scans online, so I know the direction this is going. I'm wondering if they're going to cut a lot of stuff from the manga to make it quicker and expedite the story and everything, because it's going to drag if they follow the manga really closely. I'm just telling you guys that right now. But so they go on their date and this and that, and she's explaining all sort of stuff, and then he even says like, because he wants her to act like her normal self, because he's seen that he doesn't need to, she doesn't have to put on this act, and I'm like, are you that daft? Are you that dumb? Like, she flat out explained why she's doing the Rent a Girlfriend. It's giving her acting experience and this and that, and he's telling her not to act, which contradicts and is counterproductive and productive to the fact that that's why she's doing it, and he knows that, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like, stupid. The one cool thing though about the flashback with Ruka, which I'm jumping all over the place, is he's sitting there like trying to explain to his girlfriend why he's renting this girl, and then she brings up the best point. Does like, why is this your response? Doesn't she get other people renting her? And I'm like, that is true. She is one of the more popular ones. Why is that it doesn't make any sense why he's going to keep renting her? And I was like, oh, that kind of like, and so now they agree to go see the play because Ruka wants to see firsthand this progress and how great she was in this play. And obviously Kazuya was excited, like, yeah, you'll love it, this and that, but deep down inside, he just wants to go watch her in the play again. Let's face it. I was like, ugh, just it's so frustrating. Like, and I get it. Like, it's just, yeah. I have such a love hate relationship with like these characters sometimes, and so, he asked her not to act and this and that, and he's like, well, I want to be your ideal girlfriend, and he's like, you as yourself is my ideal girlfriend. And then she blushes and does up. She's like, fine. And I'm like, instantly, I'm just like, all right, the slow burn of, Chizuru falling for Kazuya and is, there. And so then, date's over, turns around. She walks away, then it's 5:01. She's like, oh, 5:01, it's, I'm off work. And then she invites him to go out with him and to batting cages. And obviously she explains, we're neighbors, we want to be equal. I'm not going to treat you like, crap. You didn't purposely move next to me. We're, just happenstance, we're neighbors, which I get. Like, this whole scene, it was, there just to kind of almost show us Chizuru setting the ground rules. They're neighbors, this night, even though I feel like every couple episodes she has to set ground rules and Kazuya just breaks them. But the reason why they went to the batting cages is because Grandma Sayuri wanted to see Kazuya. And that led to basically Chizuru wanted to just kill time until there was only 15 minutes left for visiting hours, which is smart. Touche. There's Banner, the grandmother's, overly like excited to see Kazuya. And then we get, Chizuru leaves because she wants to put fresh water in the flowers. And then the grandma hits her with, Kazuya with the whole, like, the best scene of this episode. And, like, really the only real story character building part of this whole entire episode. Because she talks, well, first off, she asks about the play because she couldn't go. Obviously, she's in the hospital again. But then she goes in depth of Chizuru's, like, personality. She was needy as a kid. The other kids would make her cry. She would, go in at night in bed with her and say, she was all alone, didn't have any friends. And that, even because he even made like a thing where he's like, yeah, she's so strong and this and that. And the grandmother laughs, cackles, and she's like strong. And then, she said, she's putting on a front and a facade, this armor. And, she wants someone there for Chizuru when to, be there for who she truly is and everything else. And I'm like, okay, so, I'm paraphrasing. It's a, long monologue and conversation, but it really built more of the personality and character of who Chizuru really is, which I appreciated. Then, obviously, because he has to be like, I love her so much, blah, and I'm like, oh, God. So then, they played cool walking back home. He says they didn't really talk about anything. And then, we get our little end credits. And obviously after the credits, we always get a little scene. And all of a sudden, he's in bed. And Chizuru knocks on the door. And she lost her key. And then we get the preview for next week. The interesting thing, though, and I thought it was ridiculous, is the grandmother was explaining how needy Chizuru was. And instantly, Kazuya went into his head and inappropriate. I'm in bed naked. And she's like, he's like, I'm going to fill you up with all my touch. And I'm like, we haven't had, like, I will say the amount of scenes where that goes on in his head has cut down drastically since the beginning of season 1. But yeah, that was interesting. Next episode is going to be very entertaining because Mommy's coming back. Ruka's going to be in the episode because, Chizuru lost her key, so she has to stay at Kazuya's apartment because they're neighbors. Makes sense. My issue right now with the show, it was a good episode. The grandmother scene and everything, that part like kind of carried it. The flashback scene with Ruka and Kazuya kind of just poked all these holes and why he's actually doing this. Obviously we know why. These are just like his excuses. And getting a little more personality and building to Chizuru is nice. I'm wondering if, because we do have the Rent a Really Shy Girlfriend, the Sumi manga, I'm wondering if that's going to be like an OVA or a spin-off, because we haven't gotten really any Sumi. I mean, she was there last episode watching when she was the play, and while she was leaving, she saw Kazuya there at the play, and he was still just sitting there like in awe, and she did her little smirk as she walked away. So I'm curious from an anime standpoint what's going to be next. Next episode does look good, but this episode wasn't bad. Like I said, the whole grandmother scene was probably the best part of the episode. But yeah, that's really it. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Like I said, after all this, like, it makes sense that this would have been a good starting point for season 2. Whereas the other episode, you could have ended it with, like, it would have been more impactful to end season 1 with him saying, I'm gonna keep renting you every week, blah, blah, instead of ending it with her saying, like, you know, the previous episode where they were outside of the balcony and she's saying, oh, I'm probably gonna end my job as a rent-a-girlfriend. I think that would have been a better season 2 ending, or 1 ending, and this would have been a better jump off for season 2. But, you know, as of right now, it's not, I enjoy it. Like I said, from an anime standpoint, I enjoy anime like this. I don't read into it. I'm not on the internet being super like angry and saying it's trash and this and that. I just enjoy it for what it is. It's an anime to watch, and I read the manga and I enjoy it. So let me know in the comments below what you thought. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing some more anime reviews, not current stuff. I'm going to go back and review some seasons of stuff I've been watching and currently watching. I'm going to do some manga stuff as well. But that's really it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.